You know, Abraham Lincoln once said after a very brutal defeat, he had a statement that said, he said, I'm far too bad hurt to laugh, but I'm also too big to cry. And that's a little bit how I feel after this round of flooding. You know, we just got through this. A lot of the paint was just drying on the repairs that we've done to try to dig our way out of the previous flood that we had. But this one, I think has been mentioned by my colleagues, the scope was so much greater than what we had seen before, and the speed by which this came up. And I'll be brief, but just to share some of my heroes over the course of the last 48 hours. I had a call that reached out to me about a family that had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and the water came up so fast on them that they barely had time to reach in and just grab a bag from out of the house. That's all they had. And they didn't even have time to get shoes for the 2-year-old or the 4-year-old. They had none. And so they went and scrambled in a car that they had there that was on the side where the flood had gotten washed away, so they were pretty isolated. And from what I understand, they had enough fuel in the car to run it for a couple of hours, and then that ran out, I think, on Friday. So they had been missing and out in the cold weather that we've had in the rain this weekend with 2 small children. Now, you've seen my bunch here. It's hard enough to keep them satisfied when you've got snacks and stuff to give them, but I ask yourself, imagine the silence in that steamed car with families stuck in there just completely bewildered with nothing really to feed or to give them or to even help calm their nerves about what they were seeing, and then how cold they had to get. And I know how mine are. They're, oh, I'm hungry, or I'm cold. You can do nothing as a parent. So I will just tell you that these stories are heartbreaking, but when somebody noticed, and this is how we're hearing about this, they couldn't reach us, so somebody noticed that they were missing and that they'd not shown up, and they were able to get word to me. And I want to brag about Zachary Lusk. I was able to reach out. He is a helicopter pilot, and he is a very, very good one. And I got word to him, and understand they got in there and found a bunch of families that had just taken to the timber. They had gotten away from the flood and had nowhere to go and were seeking shelter up in the tree line. And so as they got in there, I understand they rescued quite a few people out of this region here. And so even today, as I was on my way down, and I will tell you, I would not be here if it wasn't for the last day to file bills so I could get these dropped. I would be right back in actually Breathitt County. That's where I'd be today. It's where I was this morning. But the need is great. But I'll share this with you. I know a lot of people want to help, and you will send stuff out. How can we help? How can we help? There are a lot of groups we found out that actually raised money on our disaster we had before. They came in, they took donations, and they spent a little bit here, and they went on to the next crisis. That money did not get spent here. If you're somebody that wants to help, if you will private message me, I will give you agencies that I've worked with that if you give them 400, they will spend 800. They literally are who we want to have in charge. As the senator from Manchester mentioned a few minutes ago, that the time for clothes and stuff like that will come. Right now, we need pressure washers. We need pumps. If you'll notice in the area, there's still so much mud on the streets because the water systems have crashed because of this. So the precious water that's left, we don't want to use that washing the streets off. They're using it for people to be able to drink and take care of their needs. So we need pumps, heavy duty pumps that can come in so we can pump from streams and from the river to rinse off and wash this off. And we need large scale fans. So these are 3 big items I'm telling you right now. And propane heat. If I can get those today, I will drive back to the district. As you all know, I've done from this floor before, but I have families right now that are going to be facing these next few days with no ability to heat or warm their families. So if I can get propane heaters and propane, please let us know. We've got a place that will help us get these out to people. I'll personally take them out myself, but that's my greatest need right now. But there's a lot of real heroes out there, and I'm not one of them. I'm simply doing my job like many of you are. But I'll share this as I sit down. We had heard FEMA was coming. We heard FEMA wasn't coming. I'll hold my thoughts on FEMA. I think a lot of people know how disappointed I was with the behavior there. But there was a instance where a couple of big Black Hawk helicopters came down this area and got out, and their message was very clear. They said President Trump had sent them there, and they were not to leave until they had everybody taken care of. And there was a cheer that went out through the crowd of a lot of exhausted people that were tired and very frightened. But there was something that just really hit me hard when I heard them say that, because I could tell they really meant it. And so that was nice to see it. So there are a lot of heroes out there. I've seen a lot of our National Guard, and these people are doing a heroic job. For the people that want to drive around and sightsee, please don't. You really are in the way in a lot of cases. So you get on Facebook, take a look at it there, let the people get through these roads that need to get through here and get their work done. I commend them. Please reach out to me if you have something you'd like to donate, and I will promise you it will get to people that will put that on the ground, if not more. I've gone too long, but thank you, and thank you for the prayers and the support of this caucus and so many others.